You really shouldn't miss this video. Things are going crazy behind the scenes. It has been proven once more that Ripple will win the SEC hearing. It could happen at any time now. You're not prepared. It's getting even more interesting because experts say XRP could really go through the roof and reach $1,000 right after the trial ends. Doesn't it sound crazy? Let's do it one step at a time. Nota bene. After almost 4 years of unclear legal situations, the long-running fight between Ripple Labs and the SEC is now moving into what could be its last phase. It could not be more important, as billions of dollars and the future of XRP are at stake. The court has set August 15th as a very important date for the SEC to officially let the appellate court know how its case against Ripple is going. Even though this might seem like nothing special, a lot of people think it could be the turning point that ends one of the most important cases in the history of crypto. In 2023, a U.S. judge said that XRP is not a security when sold on the open market, which was a partial legal win for Ripple. People in the crypto community, not just people who owned XRP, were happy about this choice. They saw it as a win for decentralized innovation. But the issue of how to classify XRP and how to allow institutional sales remained unresolved. This left a legal gray area that still makes U.S. regulators doubt the project's full legitimacy. Mark Fagel, a former lawyer for the SEC, gave some advice on what should happen next. In a social media post, he said that the upcoming date doesn't mean there will be a decision or dismissal, but there's a good chance the SEC will drop its appeal. CoinGape said in a tweet that Fagel thinks both Ripple and the SEC will drop their appeals by August 15th, which would make it possible for a final deal. These events would not only put an end to Ripple's problems, but they would also set a standard that could change how digital assets are regulated in the US. The XRP community is getting more and more excited. One expert wrote, "Get ready for the end of the SEC versus Ripple case," and another, John Squire, said exactly what people were thinking. The fight between the SEC and Ripple is almost over. There will be years of waiting, billions of dollars at stake, and a choice that could change the future of XRP and the whole crypto business. It's no longer just about Ripple in this case. It's turned into a proxy war over how to regulate cryptocurrencies in the US. It's also a test of how far the SEC can go with its power and a rallying point for people who want better rules for blockchain innovation. It's possible that what happens next will affect how crypto companies release tokens, set up sales, and deal with the constantly complicated relationship with financial regulators. A deal would mean a change, and not just for Ripple. It could also mean a change for other projects that have been stuck in the courts. At the same time, Ripple could be in a unique situation to grow as international markets move toward clearer rules for digital assets. XRP could be a key part of the next phase of financial transformation if legal hurdles in the US are removed at the same time that blockchain-based financial solutions become more popular around the world. As the date of August 15th draws near, it seems like everyone in the crypto world is holding their breath. What will happen is very important, whether the SEC decides to end its case or keep going. This moment could finally bring the resolution that's been years in the making for Ripple, XRP, and a business that needs it badly, right? And just when you thought the case between Ripple and the SEC couldn't get any more heated, crypto experts are making even more explosive predictions. Some people think that strict new rules are about to be put in place. Some people think that XRP could really take off if the legal cloud finally goes away. Believe me, what they're saying. Even more, XRP Dragon made the bold claim that XRP will rise to $1,000. That might sound crazy until you read Bale's take on it. XRP could go up to more than $3,000. If you thought that was the highest price an XRP could go, Finance Bro and Ripple Eagle say it could go up to $10,000 to $100,000. This number set doesn't make sense at first, but if you look more closely, you'll see that even the craziest claims are based on the risky math that crypto buyers love and sometimes fear. It's an easy idea, a low price and a lot of promise. In fact, that's exactly why Common Sense Crypto did a bold study. Recently, the expert wrote that putting $1,000 into XRP now could make you as much as $50,000 in the next few years. Putting the same amount of money into Bitcoin, he said, would only earn $1,300 to $1,500 back. He stressed that the growth potential, not the current price, is what counts. The XRP community has believed this story for a long time. Eduardo Farina, founder of Alpha Lions Academy, showed proof by showing that XRP went from 50 cents to over $3 in just 2 months, a return of almost 600%. Bitcoin, in the same time period, it went up from $68,000 to $112,000. That's a good gain, but only 64% compared to that. In basic terms, Farina broke it down. If you had put $50,000 into XRP during that rise, it would now be worth $340,000. Only about $82,000 in Bitcoin. It's made a lot of people wonder if XRP could reach $50,000 or more on an investment of $1,000. For a $10,000 gain, XRP would have to hit just under $32 today. It would have to go over $159 to hit $50,000. That means XRP's overall market value is close to $9.5 trillion, which is about the same as the GDP of a country and bigger than most global tech companies. Some critics, like Justin Windheim, have called the idea unrealistic. They point to how well XRP has done in the past, but XRP still hasn't reached its 2018 high point of almost $4. Bitcoin, on the other hand, has more than doubled its all-time high. Even with all the hype, it hasn't yet hit the point where it's worth $1 trillion because it hasn't been adopted by institutions. Changelly and Telegon, which make less optimistic predictions, say that XRP could hit $50, but not until around 2035. The $150 bills might not show up until the 2040s if they show up at all. Of course, that schedule doesn't stop people who want to dream. People with a lot of influence, like Dustin Layden, keep talking about how 1,000 XRP could be worth $50,000 by 2025. But let us back up. XRP might not get to $159, but that doesn't mean it won't give good gains. Its lower starting point gives it more power in a bull market. And since the Ripple versus SEC case might be over soon, there's a good chance for a short-term rise. But for investors, it's not about going after news or tweets that go viral. It's about finding a balance between hope and reality and between speculation and strategy. It's not enough to believe the talk in the crypto world. You need to know when to take it with a grain of salt as well. We also need to talk about the XRP agreements. This really is going to blow your mind. While everyone is looking at the charts, Ripple is quietly taking over the world by making deals with states, central banks, and other big financial institutions. Not just talk, a big change in the way the world works is happening, and XRP is at the center of it all. So Ripple's XRP is moving into a new phase that could finally bring about the goal that its supporters have held on to for years, being the backbone of payments around the world. With a big push from PayPal, that dream is beginning to look less like a dream and more like a change that has to happen. PayPal just released a hugely important new feature. A service called Pay with Crypto will now let companies in the US accept crypto payments such as XRP. This is more than just adding another way to pay online. It's a straight attempt to fix two. You can be sure that XRP was made to solve these problems. There is no chance in what is happening here. Alex Chris, CEO of PayPal, said that the goal is to make it easier for businesses of all sizes to pay for things around the world. With the new feature, crypto payments like XRP will be directly turned into PayPal's own stablecoin and then settled in US dollars right away. This gets around the red tape, long wait times, and up to 6% in cross-border fees that come with the regular banking system. Stores will only have to pay as little as 0.99% in the first year. Those costs have dropped by an amazing 90%, and that's just the start. Wallets from big names like Coinbase, Binance, OKX, Kraken, and MetaMask can be used to send and receive XRP. It's not a small thing that XRP is listed so widely. It shows that institutional-grade sites are becoming more open to it, which could lead to a lot of people using it. This kind of usefulness in the real world is exactly what XRP was made for. It is now being put at the heart of a global financial revolution. The fact that Ripple is still working with banks and central banks shows that XRP can be used in both wholesale and retail banking. But PayPal's move brings XRP closer to the daily economy of people who buy things. Crypto could be used by millions of people and thousands of small businesses that have never used it before. Don't forget that XRP is designed to be fast and cheap. Every exchange takes about 3 to 5 seconds, and the fees are usually less than 1 cent. When you compare that to the old SWIFT system, or even many stablecoin-based alternatives, you can see why XRP's design is perfect for this new wave of global trade. Now things really start to get interesting. This kind of global usage could have a huge effect on the price of XRP, because demand, which is linked to usefulness, drives PR, ICE in the end. A huge number of transactions will happen every year if XRP is made an important part of PayPal's international payment system. If even a small portion of those transactions need to keep XRP as cash or use it directly in decentralized corridors, the demand could go through the roof. And it wouldn't just be for speculation. It turns into infrastructure. That's the difference. It's not about